Well, hey, everyone. Yes, I missed the Cinco de Mayo, but today I'm showing you a Mexican dish, and I found this hat. I don't even know where this hat came from. I really don't even know, but I love it. And first, I want to point out my bromeliad. I think I showed you this a few months ago. I got this like 2 months ago, and look at it. It's still, the bloom is barely even starting to fade, and it is so beautiful to me. So, you know, I always like to have a flower up here just because I love, love, love flowers so much. I was supposed to go today over to a fella's house to get a, let's see, what do he call them? I can't even remember now, but some kind of ginger. Anybody out there can remember? Tell me. It's a ginger that's looks like a firebomb. Anyway, it's beautiful. But it was raining and my grandchildren are coming, so I didn't want to take off up there and get in the rain and be late to see them. But I'll think of it, I'm sure, while I'm doing this. All right, so this Mexican casserole, I made it this week. I took it to my Bible study, and Michelle, my dear friend, said, that's the best Mexican I've had in a while. And I thought, okay, that's worth repeating. So if I have your email, I'm going to be sending this out in an email probably in the next few days. Like you just heard me say, I got my grandbaby, so I gotta write it down. But you'll be able to do it from this. It's really so easy, honestly. All right, so all I did in this pan right here, you can't see it because of the flour. Let me turn this around this way. Okay, yep. All right, so I have 2 pounds of ground beef, 1 can per pound. So if you're gonna make one recipe, a smaller recipe, I'm making 2, I'm doubling the recipe because I'm having company. So let me just say it this way. 1 pound of hamburger meat, brown, with an onion, a couple of garlic cloves, a can of Rotel, a small can of tomato sauce, a small can of tomato paste. Stir this up. And then some taco seasoning or chili seasoning, whichever you like. I had some that I had made over Christmas with my granddaughter. I had actually, we had made some for me to put in little containers to give to people. So, so I had that. So, but you can use whatever taco seasoning. Just read your labels. A lot of those taco seasonings have maltodextrin. They have, you know, things in them that, you know, I don't want to put in my body. A lot of sugar. So you can do it with just plain, like, and I did put some extra cumin in here because I love cumin. You know, cumin, paprika, chili powder, and, you know, salt and pepper. That's pretty much just what's in here. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start by spooning this into the bottom of my casserole. And the reason I'm doing that is I don't wanna put my tortillas on the bottom of the casserole because they're gonna just stick, okay? All right, so then you'll see I have cut up, I hadn't really cut them up, I broke them up, some siete tortillas. So let me show you what that is. These are burrito wraps. I think I got these at Publix. You can probably order them from Amazon. These are siete. They're made with cassava flour, so they don't have any gluten in them, and they are delicious. Their chips are really good. Hey, I'm trying to see who, I can't see who it is. Hey, Lillian, good to see you. All right, so I have broken these up, and I'm just gonna layer them around on top of this. So this is 1 burrito on the top of that, and I'll have to get another one out. Just kind of spread it around. And you could put the whole burrito in there, but what I noticed this week is when I put the whole one, it was kind of hard to divide and cut. So doing these little ones, it wouldn't even hurt to make them even smaller. It'll be easier to dip, okay? Unless you're gonna, you know, cut it with a knife in wedges. But all right, and so then on top of that, I'm gonna put some beans. Now, typically on my program and on the keto diet, you don't use beans. Well, you can, but you know, this can of beans is probably gonna have about 40 grams of carbs, and I'm gonna just put half of it in here. So you can see this is gonna make about eight servings. So, you know, everybody's gonna get a couple of bites of beans. So, you know, it won't add but a few carbs. And I just like the taste, plus, I like the taste of the beans. plus it gives it some more protein, which we all, women, especially over 40, need more protein. You need about half of your body weight in protein. So for me, that's about 65 grams of protein. And so I love it that I get it from the beans. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put some more because I don't want to waste them. I don't know what else. Oh, well, I'm going to make 2 recipes. So here we go. I'm going to leave those right there. All right, so then I have ground my own cheese. This is a half a block. It's about 4 cups. Half a block of mozzarella cheese and a half a block of Colby Jack. I like those 2 flavors. Sharp cheese sometimes to me takes away from the taste of the dish, so I kind of like a little milder cheese. And then what I'm going to put is that's about 2 big tablespoons of sour cream. All right. I'm even going to put 1 more. So I like the sour cream right in here. So probably about 4 tablespoons, or maybe a half a cup, because I think 4 tablespoons, yeah, it'd be half a cup. All right. And I always ask my husband when I cook a recipe, I'm like, what do you think about that? And if he said it was okay, I don't ever cook that again. Because why would I do that? I don't want to cook what's just okay. I want to cook what he loves. Hey, Michelle, I'm cooking your Mexican dish again. The one you said, I just told the group that the one you said was the best you've had in a while. All right, and then I'm going to put, if you like this, you might not want to do this, but I'm going to put a little fresh cilantro on this layer, okay? There we go. And then I'm going to put 2 cups of cheese. So I'm just going to spread this around. And I put this on my finest grater. I use my KitchenAid. I have one of those graters on my KitchenAid. It is well worth it. I think I paid $60 for it maybe. You might can get one at Bed Bath & Beyond. They're going out of business and selling stuff. So I'm putting those two cups right in there. Their stuff was 20% off last time I checked. Then I'm going to put another layer of this this is really just taco mix, but with a little more, I put a can of Rotel, like I told you, sauce. And, you know, I always put tomato paste. And if you go to Costco, they have a case of tomato paste. So I don't need to buy any for another year. But it's organic tomato paste. And it has the best flavor. And I want something with a good flavor. All right, so there we go with that. I'm not going to put the rest of those beans. I'm going to make another casserole, probably to take to someone, you know. I might even bring it to Bible study Wednesday night. How will that be, Michelle? Okay, so then I'm going to put some more. I'm going to put a little bit more sour cream on the top. Just a few little dabs, not much. Just to kind of put in there with that. And some more cheese. And then I'm just going to bake it in the oven. And it's just going to be delicious. And if you wanted to do another layer of burrito, you know, let me see how much I have in here. Yeah, I could put a little bit more of that. I could put a little bit more burrito. Just a few little, you know, you can tell. I'm not a really detail. I don't go strictly by the book, all right? So I'm just going to save that. I'm going to put a little bit of cheese on top of that. And then I'm going to bake it in the oven. And we're going to enjoy it tonight. My grandchildren are going to love this because they love Mexican. And so this is a quick and easy. I also have a couple of limes here. When I get done, when I serve it up, I'll squeeze a little lime over it and it'll be delicious. So I wanted to share something with you before I quit. All right, so you know, yesterday I said was the last day to get in this next challenge that starts next week. And it was, but if you haven't seen it, if you didn't get in my group or you don't, I've got a couple of spots that I would love to offer somebody that's, maybe you've done one of my challenges before and you just like to hit the reset and go another 90 days. It's $2.99 for you to do that. If you're brand new, then we need to get on the phone and let me make sure it's a fit for you, because the last thing I want for you is a failure, because another failure may make you just say, you know what, this is just me and I'm going to, but what you've got to look forward to if you're not healthy is disease. It's disease. So if you're on here and you've been in one of my challenges and you know how much value I add and how much coaching I give and how much I want you to be healthy, then write in the comments below, you know, what you think. Just say, it helped me, I did great, okay? So thank you for joining me. This was just a quick video, but again, I gotta have your email if you want this recipe. But again, it's not really complicated. You just pretty much saw that it's taco mix, some vegetables, some good healthy wraps. And you know, just say those low carb wraps, read the labels. If they've got potato starch and all these other unhealthy ingredients, just because they're low carb does not mean they're healthy. So you want to get good, healthy carbs when you get your carbs. So I have no problem serving this to my family. These, by the way, I bought a case of organic black beans at Costco when I was there. So I'm stocked and ready in my pantry just to be able to pull out a meal and cook it. This was grass-fed meat. I used organic spices in my spices. So, yeah, so I want to tell you a quick story. So yesterday I was in Walmart and I was checking out, and this little girl was behind me with her mother, and I looked at her, you know, it's going to be a little while, and I looked at her and I said, so is this your last day of school? And she said, yeah, and we just chit-chatted a little bit, and then she walked over to me, and she looked up at me like this, and she said, do you know God? And I was like, yes, I do. And I said, do you know God? And she said, yes, I do. And I looked at her and I said, listen, that's the most important question you could ever ask anybody. So that's what I'm going to ask you right now. Do you know God? Well, if you don't, he's worth knowing. And it may not be the God that you've imagined, or even the God that someone told you about that wasn't the true God. The God we all need to know and should know and can know is the God of the Bible. He's the God that loves us. He's the God that made us. He created us. He's for us. He's not against us. He's behind us. He's beside us. He's above us. He's in us with the Holy Spirit. He sent his son Jesus to die for us. And really, all we have to do is surrender our lives to him. He's a gentleman. He's not going to push his way into your life, but he'll make himself available. So if he's talking to you about maybe you don't know him in a deep relationship, then message me. I'd love to talk to you about it. It's the most important decision you'll ever make. More important than a spouse, more important than your children, more important than a job. It's critical, because if you have that good foundation, then everything else will fall into place. He says in his word, Romans 8:28, that all things work together for good, for the good of those who love him and called according to his purposes. So I pray that if you don't know him, and I didn't start off, this is going to be a message of evangelism, but if the shoe fits, I'd put it on and wear it if I were you, because there's nothing like it. And I can see some of my friends on here, they could hit the love button and agree that there is nothing like a personal relationship with God and Jesus Christ. Nothing like it. Nothing will replace it. He's there for you in your deepest, darkest moments. And I just pray that if you don't know him, that you will, this will be the time that you'll say, you know what, I think it's time. I think it's time for me. Okay, so let's get healthy together. Join me if you think you want to jump back in and get another 90 days. I'm doing some new things. I got some new things in the app that I'm doing. We'll be doing exercise a few days a week. It's a 20-minute workout. It's not hard. We're using weights now, because you really need to use weights to strengthen your arms and your body and your you know, if you ever seen an old person that was built with muscle and strong that was sickly? No. They're healthy, and that's what I want for you. And I know I want to be in the best shape of my life. So thank you for joining me, and let's talk soon.